Welcome to the Lowland Catchup. It's myself, Chris, and today I'm joined by Derek. How are you doing, mate?
I'm very well, how's you?
Yeah, brilliant. There was only one Lowland League fixture and obviously more Scottish Cup action. We'll get right into it with the Lowland League game. It was East Stirlingshire versus Kelty Hearts at Falkirk Stadium. A massive fixture. I did feel that maybe the back four of both teams got the best of this one. And certainly, it was a wee bit of a nervy game. A lot of wayward passes, a lot of sort of long shots. Not a lot of space, if you will. I actually thought Shire were the better team in a lot of respects going forward. They did have the best chances in the first half. 15 minutes in, Jamie Dishington had the first real chance of the match as he drifts past a few Kelty defenders before Ben McKenzie turns his shot wide. Shire, just before half time on the 40-minute mark, had a brilliant chance to go ahead. Nicky Lowe, pretty much a header from a delivery by Orr, and it's saved by Ben McKenzie. And as I mentioned, I thought Shire had probably the best of it in the first half. The second half, 49 minutes, the ball bounces around. Jamie Barclay makes the save, and Nathan Austin was the first to react to put it 1-0 up. It was certainly a game, as I mentioned, where I think, it was nervy, a lot of wayward passes. It started raining quite heavily after maybe about the hour mark, so the conditions were a wee bit hard. But Kelty took their chance, and I think that was the only real difference of the game. There was a lot of sort of nervy finishes, a lot of tackles towards the end and at the start of the game. It looked like there might have been a handball by Jordan Tappin, but nothing was given. Shire did have a few dangerous free kicks towards the ends, but they just couldn't take their chances. I think it was less about poor finishing from both teams than more than just the fact that the defences were good. I know our friend After Extra Time Shirts had a bit to say on it and disagreed with me, but I think if you're looking at Kelty Hearts, you're probably the best players were the defenders, and you noticed in East Stirlingshire, Jordan Tappin got the man of the match for sort of handling Nathan Austin quite well, and the four that they picked were also their back four. So for Kelty, Dylan Easton having a full 90 minutes, Ross Murch coming back on. There was a really decent chance for Sean Brown coming on as a substitute, but Thomas Riley had a brilliant block on it. What are your thoughts on the game? I mean, it was a massive game for both teams. Obviously, as I mentioned, mate, I think the only difference was that Kelty Hearts took their chance.
We expected it to be tight because it's probably the first big game of the season, I think, in terms of two teams that are chasing the title. Because earlier you can kind of overcome a loss and say, well, we're still in it, we just need to get it going again. This might be kind of putting paid to Shire's chances. And it's very early to say that, but at the same time, they're already a wee bit behind. Kelty are doing this thing where they're just grinding results out, and we've seen how that goes before with Spartans. So it's a massive result for Kelty, massive result, especially given that Shire might have been the better team in the balance of play and in terms of chance creation, but the only stat that matters is the final scoreline. So they've done what they had to do at a difficult place to go in the Falkirk Stadium. Nathan Austin's just such a valuable player to them, isn't he? He just scores when he has to. Yeah, so obviously they've gone top because Bonnyrigg weren't playing, but the pressure now kind of changes slightly purely because Kelty are now on top. So Bonnyrigg got a great result in the Scottish Cup that we'll get on to, but when they come back to league business, it's a different kind of challenge for them. It's not as if they are kind of sailing quite plainly at the top. They now need to play catch-up. So we'll see how that changes things, but yeah, I think you just need to give credit to, well, firstly the defences. We expected a tight game, but they've done their job, and it says a lot that Tapping got Shire's man of the match in that game. But they'll be disappointed, won't they, Shire, because they've had a couple of chances to take the lead, and if they had done, it's a different game. They might well have gone and won it. So they're basically going to have to win every game for here on in at this point to have any chance. And that's not the position they'd have wanted to be in at the start of the season.
Absolutely not. And just before we sort of continue the conversation, mate, we do have an interview from Mark McCabe with Barry Ferguson.
A big 3 points against East Stirlingshire tonight. What was your take on the game?
It was scrappy. It was a scrappy game, but you're always going to get that with two good teams coming head to head for the first time this season. But look, we've played better probably, so has East Stirling. But look, at the end of the day, I says to the guys, look, I don't care how we get it. We need to come in here at 9:30 with 3 points and be top of the league. That's what I asked before the game, and they delivered. As I says, look, the first half was scrappy, second half we were a bit better, but look, it was two good teams against each other. But listen, all I want at the end of the day, I don't care how we play, how we get it. 3 points is the main thing for us.
Must be pleasing. Fash getting on a roll, but Dylan getting 90 minutes under his belt.
Yeah, Fash is no trained all week. He's no trained for the Civil game. He's struggled a bit with his hamstring. And we had him at the physio, and he's come in and says, look, he wants to have a goal. Look, he wasn't the normal Fash, but listen, he's always capable of getting that goal. And Dylan, I don't think you need to know what I think of Dylan. I think he's a fantastic talent. I've rushed him back probably quicker than I would have liked, but just to see him, he got 30 minutes and then the extra time last week, and then he's got a full 90 in his legs again, so he'll only get stronger. But listen, it's a team game. I thought the back four were excellent, midfield done their job, and obviously Fash scored the goal. So overall it's a team performance, delighted to get the 3 points. And then we'll move on, obviously we'll enjoy the weekend and get back in next Tuesday.
We obviously want to thank Mark and Barry there. Barry did praise the back four. I think, again, I think our friend was slavering a wee bit on Twitter. Honest to God, I know people have different opinions. It was a scrappy game, to be fair. You know, it was one of those nervy games, but that's why I think the defence done so well, because you're looking, in these nervy games, you're looking at defenders, and I think they were Shire for the goal were a wee bit unlucky, considering Barkley makes a save. I don't think Barkley had too much to do, whereas I think Ben McKenzie was pretty busy. He could have at least been in the shout for man of the match for Kelty as well. So
yeah,
I think for Shire though, the comparison's been made from a lot of the fans about the East Kilbride game. It was kind of similar. You know, you're looking at Shire and saying they've probably lost all their big sort of games, and I think that's worrying for the fans. But if you're looking at how they played, they're not always going to be playing against the likes of Kelty or Bonnyrigg, these sort of teams. If they keep sort of that momentum, they're going to be up there, but they really have to start getting the results in these games, I would say.
We've had this discussion a few weeks ago that the league's not going to be decided by the other teams that aren't in the title challenge, the title race. It's going to be decided by the top six playing each other. And as far as it goes up to this point, Shire just haven't done it. They've drawn with BSC, they've got beat by East Kilbride, they've got beat by Kelty. It tells a tale. You know, they need to up their game when they're playing against the other sides in and around them that are pushing for the crown. So they've still got a chance, but they just need to win in all the way in for this point onwards. And I know it's only October and we're saying this, but there's only 30 league games. So yeah, there comes a point where you just need to knuckle down and say, right, this is us. It's win or bust.
We did shout out a few Kelty players there, so it's only fair to mention Rhys Peggy, the young defender / midfielder for East Stirlingshire. He was in one of the team of the months. Shire rate him pretty highly, and I thought he had a fantastic game. He's really decent composure for a young player, and fair play. But yeah, we'll move on to the Scottish Cup, another Friday game. It was Bonnyrigg Rose versus Buckie Thistle. Bonnyrigg won 2-0 at Dundas Park. Do you want to take us through that?
I'll be honest, the first half wasn't one for people that love the beautiful game. It was a heavy pitch, but both teams were just sizing each other up, basically kind of doing the best of what they could. It came and went with just a handful of kind of half chances. Neither keeper was properly tested. I should say the atmosphere in watching on the TV seemed brilliant. It was obviously a kind of sellout chock-a-block down Bonnyrigg way, and both clubs get really good attention, actually, I need to say, for the BBC as well, and they made a proper effort to tell the story behind the game and not just show it lazily. But things picked up in the second half. I think his players started to tire a wee bit. The game opened up, basically, and it kind of gave guys a wee bit more time on the ball to play their game. Rose took the lead, 52 minutes on the clock, with a bit of fortune. Jonathan Stewart's crossing the right, deep and floated over the top of the back, peddling Herbert straight into the net, 1-0. I don't think he claimed it. I thought he might try and claim he attempted it, but his face kind of told the story, I think. And then George Hunter was the man that secured the spot in the next round for Rose on 67 minutes, with a really classy goal, actually. So I think it was a fair result in the balance of play. Bucky were clearly a very decent side as well. And for anyone doubting the Highland in comparison with the Lowland, because I've seen a few lazy opinions going about saying now Cove have gone, the Highland's nothing.
Yep.
Bucky showed you what the Highland are all about, because they might not even win the Highland this year, and they were very, very good. But Rose acquitted themselves brilliantly to it. At one point, Thistle were probably on top in the first half, but Rose will be absolutely delighted to get through, and hopefully another wee cup run there for them. They've been known for it in the past.
Unfortunately, obviously, I was at the Shire game, so I missed most of it. But yeah, for the fans there, I think it was 1,600, maybe 700.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure on how New Dundas Park is, but I think they probably could have got a few more in there, actually. I know they stopped taking it for safety concerns and stuff, but either way, the fans that were there, fantastic. I saw a few pictures with the flares and all that sort of stuff.
I think there were a few more watching for, let's just say, over the wall as well. So it was one of those classic old school cup ties where there was people outside the ground doing anything they could to get a wee peek over as well.
Brilliant. Well, at least they weren't standing there with the iPad, that was fantastic. And to be honest, moving into Saturday's games, I was hoping for a wee bit better, actually. And just for anyone listening, obviously the highlights, because it's the Scottish Cup, you'll get to see the highlights yourself on the YouTube. So yeah, we'll quickly move through the next few fixtures.
They'll be shared out on Twitter as well, folks, at Scottish Cup, if I remember rightly. But you'll get to see the highlights dead easy.
Yep, definitely. And so it'll probably be a quicker catch-up today than it normally is. So we'll move into Elgin City versus Berwick Rangers at Boroughbriggs. Elgin City won 3-1. I was a wee bit disappointed with this because obviously I kind of expected Berwick to maybe get a wee bit of a shock, but it would have been a shock in fairness.
Yeah.
Elgin City opened the scoring in 4 minutes. Brian Cameron gave them the lead. This is where I thought Berwick might have got something. About 10 minutes before half time, Lewis Barr equalised for Berwick, so it was 1-1 at the break. City had the better of the chances, but yeah, it was level. Quickly into the second half, on the 49th minute, Kane Hester put City back in front. Elgin did go on to strike the woodwork twice, as first Daryl McHardy strikes the crossbar from the 6-yard line, then Rabin Omar smashes outside of the post from 30 yards. It wasn't until the 78th minute that Shane Sutherland gave Elgin a 2-goal cushion and the win to make it 3-1. Pretty much what we expected a wee bit. I mean, I was really hope more than anything was that Berwick would get sung at this game. We have to give a wee bit of a shout out to Rory McEwen, who was obviously moved to Elgin, started in the game. He was obviously formerly at Stirling Uni, so well done to Elgin and Rory McEwen for getting through there. Disappointment a wee bit, but again, as we said, it probably would have been a shock if Berwick did get the win there.
Oh, it would have been a major shock, because this was the game where we said it's probably the worst away day journey that Berwick could have drawn. And they've done quite well not to just fold after conceding in the 4th minute as well, I think, because if this was the end of last season, the way they were when they were finishing bottom of League 2, they would have put 6 or 7 past them. So, yeah, it's not the worst result. They'll be slightly disappointed having pulled back, that they've not been able to at least get a replay, but Elgin are a decent side. We mentioned Shane Sutherland amongst others, and he got his name in the score sheet. They could have had a couple more that have hit the woodwork, as you've said, so it's no disgrace for Berwick. They've put in a decent shift and they can now get their focus where it needs to go on the league. Spartans playing host to Queen's Park at Ainsley Park, and it was just after the half-hour mark that Queen's Park took the lead from a corner. Aguiman with the decisive touch, a wee bit scrappy, 1-0, and just 2 minutes later they killed the game, basically, because Galt managed to double the Queen's Park lead. It's always just a hammer blow when you concede 2 in 2 minutes.
Yep.
And that was pretty much that, because into the second half there was plenty of decent play for both sides, but just not really any clear-cut chances, goal-mouth action to speak of. So QP saw it out, and Spartans, as has been the story quite a bit this season, were lacking a decisive final ball or a finishing touch. So that was the way it finished. Queen's Park go through and Spartans exit the cup.
See, I think you and Sean cursed them, to be honest with you. Well, no, it was me that went with Queen's Park. You guys went with Spartans last week. Yeah, if it was the other way around. So I think we'll just never give a prediction for Spartans, and hopefully they can get back to winning ways. Yeah, that was the story of it. I heard that they were lacking the finish. I heard, obviously, Subo was letting know the Queen's Park boys that they were in a game, and Bolo had a bit of a fan as well. He was getting a few pelters from the faithful there, but it's disappointing for Spartans to lose at Ainsley Park, but there's kind of strengths in being out the Scottish Cup, so Spartans can now focus on the league. So there is a wee bit positives there, but Spartans are a difficult one. We talked about it last week. I think they should be doing a fair bit better, to be honest with you, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. That it's the finishing touch they're lacking up front, isn't it? We've kind of touched on it a couple of times. That it's not just down to the strikers, it's down to getting the ball into strikers in the right position to get the goals. And there's just something not there that was there last year. For them, so we know Dougie's a good gaffer. He'll be working on that and looking to get it sorted, but they won't be too disappointed. It's a league team in the cup. They've had a wee chance to create a shock. It's not happened for them on the day, and they'll move on.
They're probably missing, obviously, Jack Smith's injured. I saw Gary Chen, he posted something about being Kelty captain, which of course is a fine in this league, so I think the insinuation what he said to Jack Smith was that he was made of chocolate, so
That was pretty much the exact quote, but Jack Smith has been making the most of his injury layoff by trolling everyone on Twitter recently, so I'd encourage anyone that likes a laugh to give him a follow as well.
So we'll move on to the champions, East Kilbride versus Gretna 2008 and All Lowland League Scottish Cup game. It was at Cape Park. We kind of expected East Kilbride to sort of go out and win this one fairly comfortably, but I don't think that was the case really. They did get the lead within 5 minutes. BJ Hall delivers the ball into the box. The attempted clearance meets Rory Payton, who slots home to give East Kilbride the lead within 5. Gretna did come back into the game, and on the 17th minute mark, a ball delivered and Ryan Rogers equalises for Gretna. Only 4 minutes later, on the 21st minute mark, ball played into McGrath, who turns at the halfway line and rattles home from 25 yards. And it was Kieran McGrath, on loan from Celtic, who sealed the win for East Kilbride. 10 minutes to go. Sean Winter takes a quick throw and bounces the ball with Rory Payton. He then lifts the ball into the box and McGrath powers the header home. I did hear an interview with EK News with Chris Humphrey. I think he was a wee bit disappointed with some of the goals. He said it was the best that Gretna had played for a long time, but there is still sort of a few things there for him to have a look at. But to be honest, it's a result that we really expected,
Yeah, and the other thing that I took note of was what Sean Winter was saying after the game. He mentioned that Humphrey was playing for a start and he was rolling back the years a wee bit. So he was pinging balls in left, right and centre, and generally had a pretty good game by the sounds of things. So that's an interesting wee development, that if he's going to start playing well for Gretna, that'll give them a huge boost as well, because we weren't sure if he was just going to sit in the dugout this season after what happened towards the end of last campaign with Kilby. But I think actually Gretna, despite the fact that clearly Chris is upset with the way they've lost a couple of those goals, they can take a lot of heart for that performance, because pretty much every Kilby player that's spoken after it has given them a shout out and said, well, they were better than we thought. They've came here and they've given us a right game. So kind of went the way we thought it would go. Kilby go through, but there's more and more positive signs coming through for Gretna. The only issue is they need to start turning it into points in the league. As soon as they get a couple of wins in the bounce, I think they're potentially going to start moving up the standings.
He got the equaliser, but Ryan Rogers seems like a quality player, one of the guys that they brought in this season.
Yeah.
And I think his family, I saw his family at Kelty, I think it was his mum and that, but seems like he gets a lot of support, and that's always great to see for such a young player, that his family's travelling and watching him play as well. So, but yeah, he's from what I've seen, a brilliant talent for Gretna, and he seems to be doing the business for them.
Yeah, he's certainly putting the ball in the back of the net, isn't he?
Yeah, I just hope that there's other guys at Gretna that can do something similar for them, because I think it a wee bit like Berwick, we've said it, but it's coming for them, but they just need to get to that finishing line, I think.
Yeah, the two of them are in a very similar position. I think Berwick arguably with a slightly better squad, but the two of them just need a couple of results and then to get a run together. And if it doesn't happen, then they might be in trouble. But let's try and look at the positive side of things for now.
Next up, it's the game at Thompson Park, which you were at. Derek, do you want to take us through?
Yeah, so went down to Lockheed United for the first time I'd ever been there, and I didn't know what to expect. You probably could hear when we spoke previously about this game that I wasn't too confident because I just didn't know what we were getting into with Lockheed. And it turns out they're a very decent outfit, so I need to give credit to them because they weren't sure what to make of us either. So it was one of these right bang into the unknown games, which I love. Absolutely love those kind of games that you just don't know what to expect. And both sides put on a bit of a show. Lockheed were the ones that actually opened the scoring on the 38th minute. And they were probably the better side in the first half, just in the balance of play. Marshall Ingalls made a brilliant save following a free kick, but after a bit of a kind of goal mouth scramble, it was Grant Lawson turning it in for the hosts. There was a couple of chances that we had to clear the ball away and it just didn't happen. So it was an old school stramash, basically. In at half time, 1-0, but straight out the gate in the second half, BSC were much improved. 49 minutes on the clock, and we'd threatened from a couple of corners in the first half. One in particular where the keeper made a great save, but this time Ross McMillan rose up above everyone to meet a Detley Hughes corner and stuff it in the back of the net, 1-1. And it looked like BSC would go on to win the game, but 56 on the clock, Tam Orr gets sent off for a second yellow. Basically, he was in the box, he beat his man, and he went down, and it was quite hard to see for us because we were behind the goals on the opposite side of the pitch. It looked like he just fell over. But the referee thought he'd properly thrown himself to the ground, and that was the opinion of a few of the fans up that end of the pitch. So off he went, and it was a very different game from there on in. That basically Marshall kept BSC in the cup. He made 3 outstanding saves as the game ticked on towards full time. One in particular where it was almost the ball was behind him, and he somehow managed to get his hand back and claw it out the net. So he's more than earned his place this week. But just a brilliant performance. Like, Lockheed will be disappointed because he had a brilliant chance to knock us out there. Brilliant chance. But it goes to next weekend, which unfortunately means that one of the plum ties of the Lowland League season's been postponed. We'll get to that later. But I'm really looking forward to the replay because Lockheed have got a couple of guys that everyone will know. They've got Gary Kenneth at centre back, who, despite the fact he's a bit bigger than he used to be, is still very, very capable. He'd get a game in this league, absolutely. They've got a couple of old Dundee United young boys, Montrose young boys as well. There's a fair bit of talent there, and they don't play like your stereotypical junior team that's all kick and rush and blood and thunder. They play some really nice stuff, to be fair to them as well. So I think on the next park playing surface, it'll be a really good spectacle for any neutrals that want to go along on Sunday. It will be Sunday because Alloa are playing the Saturday, I believe. So if you're in the area, consider going along and checking it out.
Talked to you before we started recording, but the picture that BSC had, I said, look at the size of sort of Lockheed boy. I didn't even know it was Gary Kenneth. He looks like a tank now, eh?
He's a monster. He's an absolute monster, but it also makes him more effective almost at this level because, junior level normally, but this level for this week because it's one of the few times that I've ever seen Martin Green fail to win his fair share of headers. Just purely because Kenneth was an absolute monster of a man. Similar
to yourself, Muzza, we kind of discussed it last week. We were at a wee bit of a disadvantage not knowing too much about Lockheed, but it seems like they've done a trick there. I'm so glad that you didn't see the Tamor sending off for the simulation, because had you said it wasn't a sending off, you might have been losing a wee bit of credibility given the fact that it's twice in 2 weeks. So I was a wee bit worried at what you were going to say there.
Although, to be very clear, the last one, common consensus was it wasn't simulation, but this one, the common consensus is it was.
Yeah.
Tam was disappointed when he came off. He obviously knew he'd let the team down a wee bit by getting sent off early, but it's ended up not costing BSC still in the cup draw, so I suspect it'll be forgiven pretty quickly.
Tam's a brilliant player. We've went through it. It is a wee bit of a shame when you see that sort of things happen, but I think it's hit or miss. I mean, certainly there's been a few times. I think the one with the penalty a few months ago, that was kind of 50-50. A lot of these ones are 50-50. But yeah, sometimes if it's 1-1, a wee bit of contact, the striker goes down. it is what it is. We can't defend it having not seen it. So
Exactly. And we can only rely on opinions which notoriously don't tend to be accurate when it's either for or against your team.
Guy, they can be a wee bit partisan, can't they? Next game that will go to a replay, Formartine United versus Gallifreydine Rovers at New Lodge Park. It was Gala that took the lead just before half time, sort of in the 36 minutes. Scott Taylor Mackenzie, fantastic. When I saw that pop up, I was hoping that Gala could really go out and get the win there. But not long into the second half, Formartine did equalise. Gary Wood on the 49th minute. Gala did take the lead again on the 69th minute with Jacob Campbell, but it wasn't to be as Daniel Park on the 77th made it 2-2. And that one again will go to a replay. I've got to give a lot of credit to Gala. Sean did talk up Formartine United, considering they hadn't conceded a lot of goals, hadn't sort of lost many games. Gala have went there and really done the business, and I think they'll be happy to take them back to the Netherdale with the Formartine having to travel down.
Absolutely. I don't think people understand how good a result that is, the Gala have got there, because Formartine are a very, very good Highland League side, especially at home, and that kind of journey is daunting enough in its own, but the fact they've gone and taken the lead twice as well, it was a real eye-opener. It was one that we were keeping a close eye on at the game as well, but they will be disappointed that they've not seen it out with 20 minutes left to go, taking the lead. But by the same token, they've pulled off a result nobody really gave them a chance of pulling off. So I think you just need to give credit when it's due, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays in the reverse fixture, because we know that Rovers are pretty strong at home. It's not an easy place to go for any team, so we'll see how Formartine cope with it, but they are still a very, very good side, so it could go either way.
Time of recording, we obviously record on Sunday. University of Stirling playing Linlithgow Rose at 3 o'clock at Forth Bank. We did suggest that it could be a tough one for University of Stirling. Linlithgow Rose, obviously a fantastic East of Scotland team.
Well, Chris, the Scottish Cup adventure has come to an end. What do you feel about the manner of your exit today?
Yeah, we're disappointed. That was one there we could have won on another day. We had opportunities at goal, we've hit the bar, we gave away a sloppy penalty, and then the second goal was basically in the 90th minute. So no, it was definitely, like I've been saying all along in the build up to say, it was a 50-50 game. Both teams played well, but Linlithgow took their opportunities when they came and we didn't.
Speaking of opportunities, it was a game of few chances, wasn't it? First half there was very little.
Yeah, well, Linlithgow nearly scored at the start. Kev made a really good save from a Tommy Coyne header, and then after that Craig had 2 chances and we had a couple, but nothing clear cut. And then obviously second half, going on chances alone, I think we had more opportunities than them. Their goalie had to make more saves than Kev, but that doesn't really matter now, because they've took the 2 chances that were the key ones.
Obviously the penalty was a massive turning point. What was your view of that?
Yeah, it was a penalty all day long. Smart play from Ross Allen. He faked his shoot, and then as Gus dives in for the shot, he just touches it over him. 2 good strikers, but we've fell apart in our shape down the left side, and the left backs managed to get from the halfway line to the 18-yard box and deliver a cross without any pressure. So for us, that's something we need to do better.
And then you're chasing the game. You made a few changes, but you just couldn't nick that goal.
Nah, like even after that, I think for 5-10 minutes after they scored, they were good, and then I think leading up to the 85th minute for about 15-20 minutes we were really good. We were piling on the pressure. Craig hit the bar, their keeper made a good save. We were getting down the left here and putting crosses in, but just weren't clinical enough around in the final third today, and I think that's cost us. So that's the disappointing thing for me, because it was a game that it was there to be won for us, and the boys that'll hurt that one, but fair play to Linlithgow, they took their chances when they came.
And the lads had fantastic backing from the crowd today, a really good turnout.
Oh, excellent from both sets. The boys from the football club came along making noise. We had students, we had neutrals who were supporting us, and then obviously Linlithgow, they've got a fantastic backing as well. So it was a really good day for obviously everyone to watch, but obviously from our perspective it was disappointing to come away with a loss.
Chris, thanks very much.
No problem, David.
So we'll move on to next week's fixtures. Spartans versus East Stirlingshire at Ainslie Park. I have to not give it to anyone, considering what I just said earlier. Have to no comment on that. You would expect Shire to want to bounce back from the Kelty game. You would want Spartans to really start doing the business at Ainslie Park, I would suggest.
If Shire's get any designs on challenging for the league now, they must win that. Simple as that. So I'm going to side with Shire on that one.
Berwick Rangers versus Dalbeattie Star at Shielfield Park. For me, this is a game of the week for us, because Berwick They're showing signs of getting a result, and this is a fantastic chance for them to do so. But Dalbeattie Star have shocked a few up to 11th.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know about you, mate, but I think this is looking like a game of the week for me. I don't even know how to call it. Dalbeattie Star have been fantastic of late from one of the lower sides going up to mid-table. What do you reckon?
Well, given the games that have been postponed, I'm quite willing to stick my neck out and say that is the game of the week, to be honest. Can you really call it a derby if the sides don't really know each other that well?
Just don't call it the Borders derby.
Regardless, Dalbeattie will be well up for it, because obviously Berwick coming down, having been seen as a big side in the south for donkeys, Berwick, this is a chance where they're now at level pegging with Dalbeattie, and to be fair, Star have, as you've said, surprised people so far this year, so they'll fancy themselves to go and get something there. From the wee Rangers' point of view, Ian Little will be desperate to get 3 points. Absolutely desperate to get 3 points. So there's a lot riding on it, and I think it's going to be tough to beat for a game of the week.
Moving on to Civil Service Strollers versus Caledonian Braves at Christy Gillis Park. Again, two teams that maybe the results haven't sort of went their way. Both of them sort of looked like they were getting to that sort of top end of the table, but they fell off a wee bit. But certainly another interesting game. I wouldn't say I always tend to go with Civil Service Strollers at home, but I would probably say they're more likely. But given the fact that Caledonian Braves have been a bit, goal fest, that could be another potential goal fest, I would say. But it's hard to say because Strollers don't tend to score too many goals. It's usually the one or two for them when they get the wins.
Yeah, Braves tend to be the great entertainers of the Lowland, don't they? As of the last few games anyway. But yeah, I fancy a few goals in that one. Civil, I don't know, it's a really tough one to call either way. I could see it being a goal-scoring draw, but yeah, I can't really call it. It could go either way.
As I mentioned, obviously, Strollers, it's like 2 or 3's the limit for them that I've noticed anyway, but they're a good team.
Are you telling me it's going to be a 3-3 draw?
I have no idea. I don't know how to call this. I've mentioned to Cali Braves, I want just a 1 or 2-0 win going forward for the catch-up, but it's a tough one to call, because I think if Cali score as many as they can, then I think Strollers potentially could score a wee bit more than they're used to anyway. But we'll have to wait and see. Next game coming out, Colts versus Edinburgh Uni. Colts have been a bit ropey, but sort of done well the last few weeks, if you will. Edinburgh Uni, different situation. I would fancy Colts at Broadwood.
Yeah, I think you've got to side with Colts at Broadwood in this one. Uni will now be bolstered by the fact that they've got their full squad in. Just in the balance, the relative kind of squad strengths, you've got to side with Colts at home in that one.
It's a perfect opportunity for them to sort of get back to wins in the league, I think, and maybe get a wee bit of momentum. Gretna 2008 versus Vale of Leven at Raydale Park. Massive one for both teams, I would say. Gretna, I kind of fancy them a wee bit more than Vale of Leven. I saw Vale of Leven recently. But again, it's a 6-pointer at the bottom, I would suggest.
Yeah, I mean, Vale have done what Gretna need to do and pulled a win out of nowhere recently. So it's an interesting matchup. This is the one that Chris will have been looking at, I think. And when the kind of schedules have been put in front of him and said, right, that's the target. Because I've had a few kind of difficult fixtures recently, despite the fact that they've shown a bit of a life. This is the one that they'll be targeting to get their 3 points on the board. You can say the same for Vale and Ando, though, because ever since it looked like he might be departing, they've really bounced back and shown how much they care about their gaffer, which is great to see. So, again, it could go either way. I think I might put a very tentative siding on Gretna, but it wouldn't surprise me to see stalemate there either.
East Kilbride versus University of Stirling at K Park. You would probably fancy EK to go on and get the win there, but University of Stirling, you mentioned it earlier, they've been tough against the sort of higher opposition, so I would still fancy EK though.
You wouldn't put it past them going there and getting a draw or something for Kilby. More often than not, you'd expect Kilby to win at home, that kind of game. It's certainly not one they can take for granted. And
our top 2 teams aren't in action because of the cup replays. Kelty Hearts versus BSC Glasgow will be postponed. Massive game. A wee bit gutted it's going to be postponed, but obviously BSC are hosting Lochee United in that replay. Do you feel better about the game at the end of the drill, mate?
To be honest, I don't really know if I'd want to play Kelty now or later. It's pick your poison time, isn't it? It'll be a great game regardless. When it goes ahead, and we'll find out what's going to happen with rearranging and so on. But bear in mind last year, BSC went to Kelty and surprised a lot of people and played really well, probably our best performance the whole season, getting the win there. I know Ian was a wee bit surprised when we were chatting about it after, but yeah, again, I think you would put the siding on Kelty, but you wouldn't be that surprised if BSC got some from it. We'll see though. It depends when the game is rescheduled for kind of how both teams are approaching it at that point with form and such like, but it would have been game of the week, I'm pretty sure.
And also, Bonnyrigg got through to the third round, which postpones their game, home game against Kelty too. So I don't think anyone wants to play Kelty at the moment, by the looks of things.
If it gets rescheduled for roughly the same time with those two games, though, that is going to be a bumper fixture card for them.
Definitely.
To like kind of run towards the end of the season, so that could be really exciting.
One thing that's sort of been noted, I never actually realised this until someone made me aware, but Bonnyrigg, in all their games against the sort of top sides, if you will, they've all been home games since the start of the season.
Yeah, they have.
Is that an interesting wee sort of nugget there, or does that give them a bit of an advantage, Bonnyrigg?
Possibly. They are very good at home, we know that. Although they haven't won all those games, BSC got the victory, bear in mind.
Yeah.
As the season goes on and we kind of get to the point where there's 4 sides really pushing for the title, I don't think the home and away will matter as much. It'll be all down to who's better on the day. I don't see it being that much an influence on it, in all honesty.
And it could be harder for Bonnyrigg if they've got all them away games towards the end of the season as well.
Yeah, very true. Very true, especially if there's a few of them back to back.
So on to our last game that is postponed, Gallifreydine Rovers versus Bonnyrigg Rose. Would have been at the Netherdale, but they are now hosting for Martin United. I hope Gala can do it. I hope Gala can go out and beat for Martin. It would be a fantastic achievement to get to the third round again. They obviously done it last year, getting beat by EK. So I'm really hoping Gala can sort of pull that out of the bag and get the win there.
Fingers crossed. And I actually think Rose will be quite happy that game's been postponed the coming weekend, because they've just came off a real battle on a heavy pitch. It's probably not the worst thing in the world to give them a week's rest after that.
So we'll move on to plugs. I'll let you go first as always, Derek.
Yeah, and it's the usual story, at Moza Plays on Twitter, and you'll find me anywhere else from there. And on Twitter for ourselves, at Official Catchup for the pod itself. On to you, Chris.
And on Facebook, it's at Lowland League Catchup. And for myself, it's at Rampant FM on Twitter. Quick one today, given the fact that you guys can see all the footage, sort of have your own opinions on it as well. So I don't think the defence has played poorly. And plus, Barry gave the back four the nod for Kelty, and I think if they wouldn't have gave that praise.
He doesn't tend to give out unwanted praise, Barry. It's quite hard to get praise out of him a lot of the time. So
both defences done fantastically. It's one of those games, Derek. I did mention it, and I was sincere in what I said. I know a lot of people, it's been an accusation thrown around for us that we're just trying to hype up the league and stuff, but it's not the case at all. Obviously there are cases, games and whatnot that we try to, that's what we promote. I think we call it quite fairly, I would suggest.
Yeah, we're not here to hype up the league, we're here to promote the league.
Yeah.
There's a very, very big difference.
Yeah.
And where things haven't been great, we generally call them out for not being great, let's be honest. We've said when it's just been a kind of a fight in a paddy field of a game, if we're quite honest about it. So the thing is, it's going to hype itself up in the running, because the big games are all beginning to cluster together, and it's just going to be a fantastic second half of the season coming up. But we're not quite there yet. Let's just take it week by week as it comes.
I had an off day last week because we were saying about Spartans and Arnie Bembo, who I did actually see. I never spoke to him, I spoke to Sean McCurdy, but I did see Arnie Bembo at the Shire games. On
an unrelated side note, if anyone's seen the picture of Bembo when I believe Austin's just scored in the first game he played, tell me that isn't a Morecambe and Wise walk he's done. It's outstanding, the picture that somebody got him. But yeah, that made me chuckle.
I think that could honestly be a meme, mate.
Oh, absolutely.
Cut that out and he's just waving. Yeah, that picture's fantastic. I think it was fair on what we said about Bembo. I don't think we weren't being too overly critical. I think a lot of these things, when we mention it, Derek, they do speak for themselves in terms of cards or performances. We can only go with pretty much the results most of the time for or how teams have played, basically. So we can only go with what we see, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Arnie will tell you himself if he gets too many bookings. I'm absolutely sure of it. So
anyway, we'll finish up. We obviously want to thank everyone for their support, everyone that listens, the gaffers, the players, the Lowland League for their support, people like George Fraser. We'll be back next week for the Lowland League ties as well as Scottish Cup. We can't get away, but we'll be back to cover them games. We'll see you soon.
see you later.